Previously, Maple is an online game player who was afraid of getting hurt, so she put all her game points into her defense. That made her nearly invincible since nothing can penetrate her armor. Together with her best friend Sally, she takes various quests to rank as high as possible. She decides to form her own guild so they could completely dominate the game and beat anyone else. Maple helps May and Yu level up fast by running them over and over again through the same Hydra dungeon which she cleared in the past, testing to see how fast they can clear it. In preparation for the next event, everyone is doing their best to get stronger and find better gear. While doing so, Maple stumbles upon a secret quest chain. Thanks to Syrup being able to carry people on his back and fly, she progresses through the difficult quest chain with ease. Due to a stroke of luck, the item she needs for the next part of the quest turns out to be the ring that dropped for her way back when she started playing. With everything lining up in her favor, Maple is able to clear the entire quest chain, which grants her a new and amazing skill. In order to show it off to her friends, she dons her new white armor that Ease made for her and activates the skill once monsters start attacking them. The new skill changes her appearance into one resembling an angel with golden blonde hair. Upon seeing this, everyone wonders just how big her defense stat is at this point, as she is able to tank everything without even flinching. The next event comes up and everyone needs to defeat special cow-like monsters to collect their cowbells. The more bells they collect, the better their rewards will be. Everyone is excited to participate and hunt down some cow monsters. Maple's low agility makes her rather weak in this contest, since she cannot chase down monsters. While trying to find a place where she will be able to collect more bells, she stumbles into the same place where the secret quest brought her last time. While exploring, she runs into a powerful boss monster. The boss monster in question is a large demon, who ends up swallowing her after she forces him into his true form. Deciding to eat her way out, Maple begins devouring the boss from within, killing him before his digestive acid defeats her. Thanks to that, she gains yet another set of amazing skills. With the event over, it turns out that Maple Tree managed to collect plenty of points to rank among the best guilds, even without Maple being able to contribute much. This allowed them to get additional skills and a guild-wide buff. Maple brings everyone to the boss of Stage 2, which they need to defeat in order to enter the third stage. It is here that she wants to show off her new skills, as she takes on the boss on her own. By using the special skill she got from eating the demon boss, she transforms into a massive monstrosity. The power of the monstrosity is off the scale, and she is able to easily overpower the stage boss, destroying it in a matter of seconds. Everyone is shocked at that display, wondering just how much more overpowered can she get at this point. Entering the third stage, they find themselves in a steampunk-like setting, where machinery is predominant. While everyone is exploring the steampunk city, Maple stumbles upon another secret location once more. While flying on Syrup, she almost hits a wall thanks to the thick fog surrounding the area she ended up in. After successfully breaking her fall, she enters a strange place called the Graveyard of Dreams. There she finds a mechanical monster that appears to be dormant, but the amulet she found on the previous stage suddenly activates, waking the monster from its dormant state. It turns out that the monster is being taken over by an evil influence, and in the moment of clarity while they are fighting, it grants Maple another special skill. Activating the new skill, Maple becomes covered with a futuristic mecha-like armor. Using the mecha armor, she is able to defeat the monster, putting it to rest at last. Maple shows off her new mecha armor to her friends, who are unable to be surprised anymore by the ridiculous stuff she keeps getting. Time for the next big event is nearing, and as it will be a large-scale player versus player competition between all of the guilds, everyone starts preparing for it. Frederica, who is a member of the Order of the Holy Sword, is noticed by Sally while she's trying to spy on Maple Tree members. Sally challenges her to a duel, and if she loses, she has to give them information on her guild and on the Flame Emperors, which is another top-ranked guild. Not wanting to give out information about her own friends, Frederica agrees to only give her information on the Flame Emperors if she is to lose the duel. Agreeing on those terms, the two of them begin their match. During the match, Sally and Frederica are about evenly matched, but after observing Sally's combat abilities, Frederica concedes the match, revealing what she knows on the Flame Emperors. The Maple Tree has a meeting before the event begins where Sally explains that she pretended to have some special skills during her duel, giving misinformation about her combat prowess to Frederica. The admins announce the rules of the event, explaining how all of the guilds will have a special orb in their base, and in order to score points they need to capture other guilds' orbs while protecting their own. All of the players will receive a stacking debuff every time they are defeated, up to the maximum of 5 defeats, after which they will no longer be able to participate in the event. After discussing their strategy, everyone makes some last-minute preparations for the big event. With the event kicking off, Sally, Kasumi, and Kuromu are handling the attack while Maple, Mei, Yui, Ise, and Kanade are defending their base. Sally is by far the best at quickly striking enemy bases and stealing their orbs. She even manages to steal the orb from the Flame Emperors, while their leader, Mei, is occupied with another enemy. Returning to their base with a large haul, they are followed by the guilds who want to retrieve their orbs before Maple Tree scores points with them. It is then that Maple displays her skill to protect all allies around herself, rendering the massive assault on their base pretty much pointless. After successfully repelling the attack, they realize that they are not even in the top 10 guilds since they lack the manpower to attack multiple guilds at once, which the large guilds possess. Stating that they will not be able to take the top spots at this pace, Sally decides to head out again on her own without resting. Kanade decides to switch to the offensive as well, so Sally would not need to do everything on her own. While trying to get back to the base with a new batch of orbs, Sally is intercepted by Frederica and her guild. Seeing that Sally is in trouble, Maple leaves Yu and Mei alone in the base and heads out to help Sally. Thanks to Sally tricking Frederica into thinking that she had certain skills, she is able to hold on just long enough for Maple to arrive and protect her. Being surrounded on all sides, Maple activates her mecha armor, using its unmatched firepower to decimate members of the Order of the Holy Sword. Back at the Maple Tree base, Dread, who is also a member of the Order of the Holy Sword, makes his appearance. Using the fact that Maple is not present to try and take their orb, Yui and Mei fight together to protect the orb, but they are no match for the skilled hunter. Just as they fall and Dread is about to take their orb, Maple arrives with Sally in hand. Maple is able to take out Dread, who did not expect to see her back at her base so quickly. After everyone returns back to the base, they proceed to the next stage of their plan, leaving everyone in base except for Maple, Yu, and Mei, who head out and start attacking all of the guilds they come across. Their warpath leads them to the Flame Emperor's base, where they end up facing against Marcus and Misery, two of the strongest members of their guild. The two of them are only able to delay Maple for a short while, but just as they are about to get wiped out, they get help from Mei. She is quite powerful and skilled, and thanks to that she is able to force Maple, Yui, and Mei completely on the defensive. Since Maple needs to constantly keep jumping in to protect Yu and Mei, she has the two girls retreat into the sky, riding on Syrup's back. That way she no longer needs to cover for them and she can switch to the offensive. In order to do so, she activates her mecha armor, quickly overwhelming Mei with her new firepower. Seeing that she cannot match Maple's power, Mei decides to use her last resort, rushing Maple and activating a self-destruct skill. This causes a massive explosion which brings Mei down, but ends up not affecting Maple at all. With no opposition left, Maple, Yu, and Mei move to take the orb from the Flame Emperors, only to learn that the orb is already missing. It turns out they hid it during her battle against Mei. After her assault is over, they all regroup at their base. Thanks to her efforts, they made it to the top 10, but just barely. So to make sure they place among the best, they decide to go ahead and enter the final phase of their plan, where they go hunting down the remaining smaller guilds, while keeping their orb on the move so no one can steal it. Just as they are about to act, the most powerful guild's most powerful players enter their base. They are Frederica, Dread, Drag, and their leader Pain, who is renowned as the most powerful player in the game. As soon as they clash, they begin overpowering Maple and her friends. Using his finishing move on Maple, Pain manages to cut her down, but thanks to her tanky skill, she is saved with just 1 point of health remaining. While trying to cover for Maple, Ise gets in the way and is quickly dispatched by Pain. Seeing her friends pushed back on all fronts, Maple baits Pain into an attack and manages to counter him perfectly with her mecha armament. Unfortunately, it turns out that Pain has the same tanky skill as she does, and he manages to survive the perfect counter. With no other options left, Maple uses her transformation skill to turn into the demon, as this gives her a new large health pool. This catches Pain, who is in the middle of powering up his next attack, by surprise. Thanks to that, he panics and Maple is able to overwhelm him, bringing him down with a deadly bite attack. Afterwards, she makes quick work of Dread, Drag, and Frederica, who are unable to even put up a fight against her monstrous form. Since the event is still some time away from ending and Maple used up all of her skills, they decide to capitalize on her current transformation. In order to secure their spot among the top guilds, they switch to an all-out offensive, using Maple in her transformed form to wipe out as many guilds as possible. Noticing that the Flame Emperors are under attack by many other guilds, they decide to lend them a hand since their firepower will aid them in destroying other guilds. Mia is about to be defeated by the combined attacks of multiple guilds when Maple arrives in her terrifying form. Within seconds, she destroys all of the attacking guilds, saving Mia and allowing the Flame Emperors to regroup. For the grand finale, Sally uses Oboro's skill to create shadow clones in combination with Kaede's skill, which has a similar effect to create multiple copies of Monstrous Maple. All of the Maple monstrosities begin rampaging all over the battlefield, wiping out any guilds they come across. All of the other players who are present are left speechless by the scene playing out in front of them. The admins overlooking the game decide to end the event ahead of time as the rewards are the same for the top 10 guilds. They consider nerfing the skills that Maple collected but end up deciding against it as she has become the face of the game at this point. All of the videos of her exploits have become quite popular, attracting a ton of players to the game who either want to copy her build or try to challenge her with their own. The next day at the Maple Tree Guild house, there is a big party to celebrate their third place in the event. They are joined by the Order of the Holy Sword and the Flame Emperors, who are determined to become stronger so they can face against Maple in the future. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.